Okay, good afternoon, guys. So our topic for this week is equilibrium of coplanar force system. So last week, na-discuss na natin how to get the resultant of the parallel force system and then the distributed load. So ngayong week, ipagsasama natin siya in one force system. Okay? So ayun. So how we solve equilibrium of coplanar force system? Technically, it's the same with how we solve moment or how we solve concurrent force system. 'Di ba? Kung sa concurrent force system, actually same lang din eh. Ang nangyari lang, may konting changes pero ayun. So kung sa concurrent force system, 'di ba? In concurrent, 'di ba? Ano tayo? Summation of forces along x equals to 0. Summation of forces along y equals to 0. Summation of moment at O or origin is equals to 0. In concurrent, ganyan ginagawa natin, di ba? So, technically, sa coplanar, ganun din. Okay? Coplanar, ganun din siya. Yan lang din. Okay? Pero, dahil ang ginawa ang discussion natin for our coplanar force system is puro lang tayo parallel force system. Technically, sa coplanar kasi, pare, ayan. Di porket sa coplanar force system, bukod sa may ganito, di ba? Bukod sa may ganyan, technically, so dahil from the term itself, all forces acting on one plane. Okay, yun yung pinaka-term, acting on one plane. Hindi lang siya acting on one point. So, in coplanar, we can have this mga gantong forces. Okay? O ganyan. Pero, dahil I'm pointing out to a specific topic na related to your course, to aviation, okay, which is centroids and then weight and balance. So ngayon, ang focus na natin, of course, is yung parallel force system and then the distributed load. So dahil doon yung focus natin, wala na tayong formulang ganito. So ang focus na lang natin, guys, is summation of forces along y or a summation along forces na lang. Kasi we only have two directions, downward and upward na lang. Okay? And then summation of moment at O. So, yun na lang yung dalawang iisipin ninyo. Okay, para na tayo nagmo-moment lang din. Pero kumpara sa moment, 'di ba? Meron tayong mga iba't ibang pero ito naka-focus na tayo sa dalawang movement lang. Dalawang lang. Okay? So, 'di ba? Yun lang. Wala nang kahirap-hirap. Ginagawa niyo na siya nung midterm, nagkaroon lang ng ibang diagram. Okay? So, start tayo. So, start na tayo ngayon. Ayun lang naman yung need nyo maintindihan, di ba? As what I've said, imbis na summation of forces along y, naging summation of forces na lang siya. Okay, kasi two opposite directions na lang naman yan. Acting on So, na lang siya. Tawag doon, upward, downward na lang siya. Okay? So, if you have the copy of the PowerPoint, much better. Pero kung wala, I'll flash na lang sa screen. Okay, so first example tayo, guys. Determine the reactions for the beam in figure P-332. Okay? So ayan yung beam natin. So makikita nyo, guys, we have four parallel. We have four parallel forces. The 300 pounds, 400, the two reactions, which is the R1 and the R2. And then we have one distributed load. Okay? So, start tayo dito. Sample problem number 1. So, okay, if you have question, guys, pwede kayong mag-react or mag-chat. Kayo sa salita kasi naka-record to. Okay. So, ayun. Sige. So, problem number 1, draw ko na lang siya dito. Okay, next is yung mga forces natin. We have the two forces opposite. And then two forces near here. And then something like Then we have distributed load dito banda. Okay, natin dito. Ayan. So, ayan. Tapos, so, lagyan natin ng ganyan lang. Okay. So, ang mahirap lang naman dito, guys, kung ano sinasabi ko sa inyo, is yung mga distances. Pero before tayo mag-proceed doon, natin. Tawag doon, i-signify natin. So, this one is A. Meron siyang 300 pounds. Then, meron tayong B. Let's say this one is B, 400 pounds. Then, meron tayong R2 and R1. And then, let's say the distributed load is C. And meron siyang, every forces is equal to 100 pound per feet. Okay? So, resultant niya, diba? The rectangle naman siya, guys. Pero bago tayo kung yung resultant, let's get all the distances muna. So, first, we have A to R. So, A to R1 is equals to 6 feet. Okay? 6 feet yan yung may isang kuwit sa ulo. So, ayan. Next, yung dulo ng C natin, guys, to R1 is equals to 8 feet. Okay? And then, dulo ng C to R2 is 2 feet. And then, R2 to B is meron tayong 4 feet. Okay? So, ayan. So, in total, ilan meron siya? In total, meron siyang 20 feet. Okay? Para makita nyo lang din. Ayan. So, next tayo, kunin natin yung distance between R1 and R2. So, R1 and R2 is equals to 10 feet. Guys. Okay. And then, R1 to B is equals to 10 plus 4, 14 feet. Okay. So, in-add ko lang to 8 plus 2 plus 4. Next, meron na tayong R1 to A. So, R2 to A. Sige, dagdag na natin. 2 plus 8 plus 6. 16. Okay. Next, bago tayo matapos, is yung distance o yung buong length nung C natin. Yung C natin, meron siyang length na equals to 6 plus 8 is equals to 14. So, ayan na. Meron tayong mga distances, guys. And then, meron na tayong length, total length ng distributed load natin. So, we can now proceed to solve. Bago tayo mag-solve is kunin natin yung resultant ng C. Okay, so C is equals to R equals to 100 multiplied by 40. Okay, or 1400. Yeah. So, meron lang tayong C, meron lang tayong and then we can now proceed to moment. Okay, so ngayon, as what I said way back, ng midterm, we can when we have two unknown forces, we can moment either of them. So, nasa inyo yun, guys, kung saan mag-moment. Pwede kayo mag-moment sa R1, pwede kayo mag-moment sa R2, and technically, before tayo mag-proceed doon, may natin kung saan naka-best yung resultant natin. So, ay yung C natin. Kunin natin kung saan naka-position yung C natin. Okay, so dahil meron siyang total length na L, ay total length na 14, and then D is equals to L over 2. So D is equals to 7 feet. And then, note natin siya dito. Which is, kung 6 feet to, guys, so let's say, dito siya. So may dagdag tayong, direction. Okay, so R1 to C, so C yan, R1, okay, is 1 feet. Ito A, ito R2. And then C to R2 is equal to 9 feet. Okay? So, ayan. So, yun yung mga positioning natin. Okay? So, dahil ang either of R1 or R2 lang naman tayo, so meron na tayong position ng C for R1 and then R2. So, yun na nga. So, proceed na tayo ngayon sa step natin. So, technically, when it comes sa pagmo-moment, guys, yun nga, nabanggit ko, it's either of the two unknown force. We can do it on R1, we can do it on R2, pero ino-note nyo kung saan. Okay? So let's say we do it on R1. Okay? So summation of moment at R1 is equals to 0. And then of course, don't forget yung rotation. Okay? So as always, all counterclockwise positive. Okay? So para di kayo maligaw, mag-rotate kayo. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So makikita nyo, positive yung C. Okay? So C is positive with a distance of 1. Diba? Tapos negative yung R2 with a distance of R1 to R2, 10. Okay? Plus positive yung B with a distance of R1 to B is 14. Okay? And then lastly is yung A natin, may distance siyang 6. Okay? So ayan. So ayun, I hope di kayo nalilito dun sa mga distances or yung distance nung natin sa R1. Okay? Kaya ninote ko na siya in the first place. Okay? So we have C as 1, R2 as 10, B multiplied by 14, A multiplied by 16. And then substitute na natin. Okay? So 1400 minus 10 R2 plus B times 14, 400 times 14. May na nga aking math. 600 minus 300 times 6, 1800. Okay. So, next, 10. So, itong 10R2, lipat natin sa kabila. 10R2 is equals to 5200. Okay, divide both sides by 10. So, R2 is equals to 520 pounds. So, yung reaction na yung force or yung reaction ng R2 natin is equal to 520 pounds. So, meron nakuha natin yung R2 and then one unknown force na lang tayo. When it comes sa once na natapos na tayo sa R1, once na nakuha natin yung isang unknown force, either R1 or R2, we have technically two steps. We have two options. We have option 1. So, nabanggit ko na rin siya last term. We have option 1, summation of forces, or option 2, moment at the other side. So, kung nag-moment ka sa R2, kung nag-moment ka sa R1, summation of moment at R1. Okay? So, let's do both para makita nyo na viable both. Viable yung parehas na direction. Okay? So, R2 pala to. Okay? So we have option 1. So we can proceed naman to option 1. So proceed tayo option 1. Option 1. Summation of forces equals to 0. So all upward forces are positive. Okay? So we have two positive, the R1 and the R2, and then three negatives, A, B, C. So 0 is equals to R1 plus R2 minus A minus B minus C. And then lagay natin yung mga value. So R1 is equals to R1 plus 520, di ba? Minus 300 minus 14 minus 400. So R1 is R1. So let's say na nilipat natin yung R1. So technically magiging positive yan. Either of the two ilipat nyo, yun pa rin yun. R1 is equal to, solve natin, 520 minus 300 plus 1400 is equals to 1580 pounds. Okay? Ano ba? Note natin. Teka lang na. Okay, tama. So, may value tayo ng R1. May nakuha tayong R1 na 1580 pounds. Okay? So, let's check kung parehas siya sa option 2. So, option, summation of moment. So, ibang kulay para makita niyo. Summation of moment at R2 is equals to 0. Okay? So, ito yung R2 natin. Clockwise, ulit, positive. Okay? So, ito yung R2 natin, guys, ha? Ayan. So, positive, negative, positive, negative. So, positive yung B, positive yung R1, negative yung C, and then negative yung A. Okay? So, ayan. 0 is equals to positive yung B, di ba? B with a distance of 4. R1 to B is 4. Okay? 4 minus C, may distance siya na ito, 9 feet. Okay? Ay, wait. Tama, 9 feet. Okay, next. May plus R1, may distance sila na 10. Di ba? Hindi man magbabago yon yung distance between them. Ayan, R10. And then lastly, R2 to A is 16. Okay? Minus 3, A pala. A to 16. Okay? So, 10 R1 is equals to, let's say, wag muna. So, ano natin? Solve muna natin. B times 400. May B ang 400 times 4 minus 14 times 9 minus 300 times 16. Okay, so ang lumabas, 10R1 is equals to, 10R1 minus 15,800 pounds. Okay, or pounds feet. Then technically, R1 is equals to 1580 pounds. Okay, so pinapakita lang dito. Guys, once you're done, once natapos na kayo sa first step, which is moment, okay? Always yun first step is always create a moment or mag-moment, okay? So technically, nasa inyo na yon kung ano yung second step nyo. So pwede kayong mag-summation of forces, pwede kayong mag-moment. Okay? Nasa inyo yun kung ano yung sunod yung gagawin. Okay? Kasi technically, we can come up to same answer. Okay, so next problem tayo. So determine the reactions for the beam loaded as shown in figure P-334. Okay? So, ayan. We have, ayun nga, meron parang ganito yung idea nung tinatanong niya. So, technically, yun nga, di ba? Same setup lang siya nung problem number 1 natin. Okay? So, sample problem. Number 2. Allah. Number 2. Okay, so, ayan. Drawing muna natin yung diagram. Yan. Tapos, ganyan. And then, tapos, next. Mga forces natin. Merong force dito. Mag-separate force yan Tapos, Tapos, meron tayong kabilaan na dalawang reaction. Okay? So, and then next, note natin. So, this one, let's say, A ulit to. A, B, C, R1, R2. Okay. A natin, meron siyang 12 kilonewtons. B natin, 12 kilonewtons. Yung B natin, meron siyang 6 kilonewton per meter. And then yung C natin, meron siyang 15 kilonewton per meter. And then next is yung mga distances. So next, A to R1 is 1.5 meter. Okay, meter yan. And then yung kabuuan ng B is equal to 3 meters. And then C to B to C or yung kabuuan ng C natin is meron siyang 3 meters. Next, R1 to R2 natin, guys, meron siyang total length na 7.5 meters. Okay? Okay. Next. Next natin, guys, school natin yung resultant and then yung position or yung distance nung dalawang distributed load natin. So, B. So, B is equals, so rectangle siya, okay, is equals to 6 kilonewton multiplied by 3 is equals to 18 kilonewton. And then next, B is equals to L over 2. So, L mo is 3 meters. 3 over 2 is equals to 1.5 meters. So, yung ano natin, i-note natin yan next. And then next, C. Okay, so 15 multiplied by 3 over 2 is equals to 22.5 kilonewton. And then, so dahil shortest side to, guys, okay, dahil shortest side siya, so ngayon, yung D natin is equals to 2L over 3, which is equals to 2 meters. Okay, so next, note na natin, ipakita natin siya ngayon sa diagram. So yung B natin is 1.5 meters siya. So gitna, let's say around here. Okay? And then C natin is around here naman. Okay? So meron na tayong mga positions. So ngayon, ito na yung tinatanong ni Mr. Toby. Ang popular Borja. Okay? So, paano na ngayon yung mga positioning niya? So technically, so kung from here to here, meron kang 1.5, edi syempre, R1 to B mo is equal to 1.5 plus 1.5, ilan? 3 meters. 3 meters dito, dito naman is 4.5 meters naman. Di ba? Okay? Kasi total length mo is 7.5 eh. Di ba? Basic addition, subtraction lang. Next, yung C naman natin. Of course, though may position ka na dito na from here to here, 2 meters. Okay? So, R1 to C is equals to 3 plus 1.5 plus 2, ilan? 5 plus 1.5, 6.5 meters. While here, okay? While this one, so minus 7.5, so technically, 1 meter na lang yan. Okay? So yun na yan na ngayon, yung mga positions or yung mga position or kung saan nakalagay yung mga forces natin. Okay? Hindi naman siya ganun kahirap as long as, yun nga, di ba? Tama yung mga paglalagay mo or yung pag-analyze mo ng mga distances. So meron tayong mga distances expected to R1 relative to R1 relative to R2. So our step 1 would be find the moment. So R2 naman tayo. Okay, find the moment at R2. Ayan. So wait, na mental na ako bigla. So ayan. Summation of moment at R2 is equal to 0. Clockwise forces positive. Okay? So dito siya. Ayan, di ba? So negative negative. So lahat ng downward forces natin guys, A, B, C, negative, while R1 is positive. So, pwede natin ngayon ilipat yung R1 na lang. Di ba? Magiging 7.5 multiplied by R1 is equals to, so positive na tong C. So magiging positive, wag, sige, para di kayo malito, ba't naging positive bigla? Sa isang side muna sila. Okay, 7.5 R1 minus C1, di ba? R2 to R1, R2 to C minus B. So 4.5. Okay. Minus A. So yung A, yun yung wala natin. Actually 6 yan. Ayan. 3 plus 3, 6. Okay? So ayan. Okay? So technically itong kabuuan na to, ita-transpose natin siya. Okay? So pag transpose natin siya, magiging 7.5 R1 equals to C1 plus B 4.5 plus A 6. Okay? So ayan, 7.5 R1 is equals to, ilan tong C natin? 22.5 kilonewton multiplied by 18 times 4.5 plus 81 kilonewton plus A 12 times 6, 72. Yeah. So R1 is equals to plus 81 plus 22.5. 175.5 divided by 7.5. So R1 is equals to, divided by 7.5, 23.4 kilo Newton. Okay? So, yung load na kini-carry ng R1 natin is equals to 23.4 kilo Newton. Wait lang guys. So, yung isa sa magiging quiz ninyo, okay, part ng quiz, note natin dito para quiz. Solve nyo yung R1. Okay? Tama. Nag-R1 tayo. So, syempre, may R1 na tayo dito. Mag-moment kayo sa R1 para makuha yung R2. Okay? Pero papakita ko sa inyo yung R2 para malaman natin kung magkaparehas. So, mag-moment kayo at R1. Ako naman, summation of forces at F. Okay? So, equals to 0. So, ayan. So, okay. Start na. So, all upward forces positive. So, R1 minus A minus B minus C. Ganun ulit. So, R1 is equals to A plus B plus C minus R2 plus R2 pa pala. Ayan. So, R1, mali, sorry. Nagbaliktad. Actually, ganun pa din naman. Plus R2, R1. So, R2 is equals to, so need yung kunin dito is R1, ay R2 pala. Okay? May note ko dyan. So, A, 12 plus 18 plus 22.5 minus 23.4 is equal to R2, nagkikare siya na 29.1 kilo. Okay? So, part ng quiz ninyo guys, dapat yung R2 ninyo equals to 29.1. Okay? So, pinakita ko na yung sagot ha. Ano na lang? Kailangan nyo na lang i-prove na 29.1 kilonewton. Okay? So,